Hello and welcome to everyone. This is the LGBT Plus Essentials with Olly Pike masterclass. This session is part of Just Like Us, School Diversity Week, Home Edition. During this week, we are learning about the lives of LGBT plus people and celebrating their stories together with teachers, parents, and of course, you, the students, all across the UK. We've been learning from amazing LGBT plus speakers throughout the week, and we're really glad that you're here today as well. Before I go on to tell you about an amazing session we have in store for you today, we need to make sure that all of us are safe when engaging with the content. So let's watch a short video explaining how we can participate in School Diversity Week safely.
Hello, we hope you're enjoying loads of interesting activities for School Diversity Week. Millions of young people are a part of this and you must keep safe online. So as part of this, we are moderating and disabling public comments you might make on our social media so we can protect your identities. If you do want to communicate something to us, please just direct message us on our social media platforms, or you can email info@justlikeus.org so we make sure that we're still protecting your identity. Justlikeus.org/betteronline has more information about this and also has some information about where you can go for help or where someone else can go if they need help.
And now for the exciting stuff, the masterclass. Before I introduce you to our amazing speaker, let me tell you about the structure of the session. This whole session is going to be around 30 minutes long, and first we'll hear from Olly Pike himself, and he'll tell you a bit about the LGBT plus community and give you a tiny introduction into what it is, and then we'll have a short Q&A session where ambassadors will be asking questions that you have submitted throughout the week. And now for the speaker himself, Olly Pike. Some of you might know him from his YouTube channel, Poppin' Olly, where he focuses on educating children about LGBT+. The videos are really fun and diverse, and he even has songs there, guys. And Olly is also director of an edutainment resource by the same name, Poppin' Olly. And he's an author of 6 books. And if that's not all, for any of the adults watching, he also has a podcast entitled Equality Education, which I encourage you to listen to. But I'll let you hear from Olly himself.
Hey everyone! Oh my gosh, Monica, thank you for all them kind words and great plugs. Yeah, check out my stuff. So yeah, I am Olly Pike and I am the director and CEO of Poppin' Olly. CEO meaning Chief Executive Unicorn, of course. What else? And yeah, I have been doing this work for quite a while and I love doing it. I love being able to educate a younger generation about acceptance and diversity. And as part of today's session, I'm going to be sharing 3 of my videos and then I'm going to be answering some questions afterwards. So the videos I've got for you today are, well, the first one is what does LGBT plus mean? The second one is a brief explanation of the history of the rainbow flag. And then the third one is a story, which is Goldilocks. So yeah, you might recognize the character in that one, but it's a little bit different from the version you know. Anyway, let's take it away. Let's kick off with the videos. I hope you enjoy them.
LGBT. But what does it mean? Is it a word? Well, try saying it and you'll soon realise it's not. LGBT. Yeah, definitely not a word. That's because it's actually an acronym, meaning that each letter stands for something. First up is the letter L, which stands for lesbian. A lesbian is a female or woman who's attracted to other females. Next up is the letter G, which stands for gay. Gay means a male or man who's attracted to other males. B stands for bi, and bi is short for bisexual. A bisexual is someone who's attracted to males and females. And finally, T. T is for transgender, which can mean someone who transitions or changes from one gender to another. You see, the gender they were born with may not match up to the gender they feel they are inside. And that is what LGBT stands for. But hang on, what about LGBTI or LGBTIQQP ABCDE? Well, there are lots of other identities which fit under the LGBT umbrella, such as intersex, pansexual, questioning, and many more. This can make the list of letters quite long, which is why the term alphabet soup is quite a fun way of describing it. But perhaps an easier way to include everyone is to use this handy little plus sign, which means plus. That way, no one gets left out. Being LGBT is not something you can choose to be. It's like the colour of your skin, or your height, or shoe size. It is simply something that some people relate to and others do not. Lesbian, gay, bi and transgender are just words, but they are words which we should use both respectfully and with care. And now you know what LGBT means. But when you think about it, it doesn't matter if someone is LGBT or XYZ. Okay, I just made that last one up. But what I'm trying to say is we are all just PEOPLE. People. People who should respect and care for each other, regardless of who we are, who we love, or who we become. Thanks for watching Pop and Olly Learn. Don't forget to check out our other videos and also subscribe to our channel. Also, you can purchase Jamie and Prince Henry, our LGBT fairy tale books, from popandolly.com/shop. See you later. The rainbow flag is widely known across the world as the symbol which represents the LGBT+ community. But where did this flag come from? Well, it all started in 1978 in San Francisco. An artist named Gilbert Baker had been asked to design a symbol of pride for the gay community. So he got to work, and with the help of some volunteers, Baker had hand-dyed and sewn together the very first rainbow flag. Notice how this original slightly differs from the one we see today. The flag slightly altered from this original design. Firstly, pink was lost. This was because when it came to reproducing the flags, the specific pink colour requested was not widely available, so it was removed. Also, there soon came a time when the colours of the flag were to be displayed on lampposts throughout the city. But to make the decorations look even, with 3 colours on either side of the street, a colour had to be taken out. So indigo was removed and turquoise was replaced by royal blue. And that's how we got this flag that we see today. What's also interesting about the flag is that it's not just a rainbow. The different colours all have meanings. Red for life, orange for healing, yellow for sunlight, green for nature, blue for harmony, and violet for spirit. And another thing the colours represent is diversity. The diversity of the LGBT+ community, as it spans across so many different people from all over the world, who are all different ages, races, cultures, religions, and many other things, but together they are all united. So that was a little history on the rainbow flag, a symbol that represents the LGBT+ community and reflects the pride that they have. Pride meaning being proud of who you are. It was a sunny day when Goldilocks stepped out of her little house and began walking into the village. She was carrying a heavy bag full of letters. Hello Mummy Bear, hello Daddy Bear, hello Baby Bear. This is for you, Goldilocks said, handing them a letter. "Why, thank you, Goldilocks," they replied, and off Goldilocks went. "Hello, Mummy Polar Bear. Hello, Mummy Polar Bear. How is your new baby?" "Very well, thank you, Goldilocks," said the happy mothers. Goldilocks handed them an envelope, and off she skipped. "Hello, Grandpa Koala Bear. Hello, Grandma Koala Bear. Hello, Auntie, Uncle, Brother, Sister, Cousin, Baby, Koala Bear. These are for all of you." And Goldilocks passed up enough letters for everyone. "Thank you, Goldilocks," they all said together, and Goldilocks went on her way. "Hello, Daddy Panda Bear. Hello, Daddy Panda Bear. Hello, young panda bears. What are you doing?" Goldilocks asked as she handed out her final letter. "We are going for a nice walk," the proud Papa Panda Bears replied. Goldilocks smiled, waved goodbye, and then ran all the way home. Her bag was a lot easier to carry now that it was empty. Now Goldilocks lived by herself, and Goldilocks liked it that way. She would sometimes calmly relax. She would sometimes drink warm tea. She would sometimes quietly read a book. And sometimes she would have a great big party with all of her friends. "Hello, Goldilocks," cheered all of the bears. "This is for you. Happy birthday." The letters Goldilocks had been giving out were invitations. It was her birthday, and she wanted to celebrate with all the different families in the village. So she did. And together they had a most bear-tastic party.
Cool, and that is all the videos. I hope you liked them. I think I'm going to be answering some questions maybe about some of these videos now.
Those videos were really sweet and really informative. Thank you for those.
Thank you.
And we have a couple of questions. The first question comes from Pinder.
Hi, Pinder.
Hi. I really like those videos. I especially like the one about the rainbow flag. But my question is, why is the rainbow used for other things as well as for Pride and for LGBT plus people?
Well, I think the great thing about the rainbow is that the rainbow is for everyone. And the rainbow is actually used by lots of different groups of people, not just the LGBT plus community. So the religion Christianity uses the rainbow in some of their teaching. We've also seen the rainbow being used very recently to celebrate the NHS and our key workers. And that's what I think is so great about it. It's such a beautiful thing. And if you look at it, it's about lots of different colours coming together as one, and I think that's a message that can be used for so many different communities, and I think that's wonderful. And also it's pretty, so rainbows are pretty to look at. They always make you smile when you see them in the sky. But the thing about the one for the LGBT plus community, as we saw in the video, we have a very distinct one. It's only got 6 colours, and I think the great thing about the LGBT plus rainbow flag is that when you see it, you know that as an LGBT plus person, you're going to be welcome and you're going to feel safe in that situation and that place. So that's why it's really important that even though rainbows are for everyone, it's really important that we know what the LGBT plus flag is.
That's a really good point, and I think it kind of links to your point where you described the LGBT plus acronym and saying that we're all in the end just people. So just celebrating that is quite nice as well. The second question comes from Ramses.
Hi, so who can I talk to if I have questions about being LGBT plus?
Oh, okay. So this is going to be such like an individual thing and different for everyone, depending on so many factors. So let's start if you're like quite young, if you're like little. I think if you're like maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 and you're like, what does LGBT plus mean? Like you can ask your parents and be like, hey, tell me about the world, tell me about all the different types of people in the world, because I just want to know. And maybe ask your parents or whoever looks after you to teach you about different types of people and show you diverse books. Remember that phrase, diverse books. And hopefully they will talk about all different types of people, including LGBT plus people, when they do that. I think if you're a little bit older and you're maybe questioning whether you might be LGBT plus, I think it's really important to think about your safety. And what I mean by that is just really think about who you talk to and whether you talking to that person is going to be safe. So sometimes I think it's quite good to talk to someone who's maybe not in your immediate circle. And by that, I mean not one of your friends or your family, but still someone you trust. So sometimes someone like a teacher is a good person to approach and ask them about what being LGBT plus means. You might have an LGBT plus teacher in your school, so maybe they would be a great person to go to. But yeah, and also I think you can get lots of information online as well. Obviously, you can watch any of my videos. There's lots of information about being LGBT plus and the LGBT plus community in those videos, but also online in general, there's lots of information. I mean, you can go to the Just Like Us website. You can go to lots of other charities' websites. A really good one for learning about trans and gender non-conforming people is the Mermaids website as well. They also have a helpline. You can talk to them as well. And another good resource is the Switchboard helpline as well. So if you just want to talk to someone, you feel like you need to talk to someone immediately, you can ring the Switchboard or the Mermaids helplines, and they will hopefully be able to help you. But of course, like I said, Just Like Us, lots of information on there as well.
Yeah, I would like to say that we have a lot of information, but also just make sure that you're safe. Your safety comes above everything else. Our third question comes from Daniel.
Hi. In the future, how will I know if I'm LGBT plus? And is it okay if I don't know?
Again, this is like such an individual situation. It's going to be different for everyone. And firstly, the first thing is, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're LGBT plus, and it doesn't matter if you aren't certain about things. Like, our experiences as human beings is going to be so different, and something that's right for someone else might not be right for another person. So I think we just have to listen to our intuition sometimes, listen to your tummy, listen to your gut, and just remember to look after yourself. And I think if you are LGBT plus, like, I feel like you will eventually know, like, it will just come, because it's such a big part of you. It's such a big part of me. And I think for me, personally for me, when I was a kid, it wasn't that I knew that I was LGBT plus, but I just knew maybe I was slightly different from other people. And I think if you are feeling like that as a child or a teenager, then just understand that it's perfectly okay to feel different, because we are all different. So yeah, don't worry too much about it. It will happen if it's going to happen. And don't stress. You're going to be fine. You've got so much support behind you.
Yeah, that's really true. If anything, I only figured it out when I was in university, so I was already an adult.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah, like people will learn at different times. Like, that's what's so cool about it. It's like sometimes it is quite fluid, and some people don't realize they're LGBT plus until they're much, much older, which is kind of cool. So yeah.
Fiona also has a question for you.
Hi, my question is, what LGBT plus role models do you look up to and why?
Oh my gosh, there is so many. I couldn't possibly list them all. So some of my favorite people is, I mean, I follow so many people on Instagram. I like Vicky Beechin. I don't know if you know who she is. She used to be a Christian pop star in America. And then when she came out as LGBT plus, like, her life just changed, and she's got this awesome autobiography which talks about her faith as a LGBT plus person. So I would definitely check her out, Vicky Beechin. I actually know her. I'm friends with her. She's lovely. I love Mumray Bergdorf. I think she is super important, especially right now. I mean, she's always been important, but like with everything that's going on with Black Lives Matter, with Trans Lives Matter, she is just someone we should all be following right now. That's Mumray Bergdorf. Who else do I love? Even people like Courtney Act from RuPaul's Drag Race, particularly Courtney Act, because she, as well as being fun and sassy and all of that, she just knew what she was talking about when it came to LGBT plus issues. And I think we saw when she was in, I think she was in like the Big Brother house, wasn't she? And she was kind of educating people like Anne Widdecombe about LGBT plus experiences. So I think it's great as LGBT plus people, we can have drag queens and we can be fun and colourful and sassy. But in our hearts, we need to be educated and informed so that we can educate other people. Who else do I love? Lady Phil from UK Black Pride. I've met her multiple times. She's awesome. Other people I follow on Instagram are people like Hello, My Name is Wednesday, who they produce the most incredible art, and it's so cute and it has so much like meaning behind it as well. So I would just definitely check out Hello, My Name is Wednesday on Instagram. And people like other educators who I know, people like Andrew Moffat from No Outsiders, he's great. Sue Sanders, who kind of created LGBT plus History Month, and even just some of my friends are role models to me. People like James Barr, who I'm lucky to call her friends as well. He hosts the podcast Gay Non-Gay, which is a really fun podcast, so check that out as well.
That's a lot of role models, and I think the list goes on.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can't stop.
Yeah. For any of you kids who might not know what drag queens are and what RuPaul's Drag Race is, Olly does have a video on his YouTube channel, so do check that out. That's a bit of homework for you after this. But
yes,
now Rowan has a question.
How do your stories help? Hi, sorry. How do your stories help people understand things about being LGBT plus?
I think my stories are helpful because they're very simple. And I feel like when it comes to LGBT plus education, sometimes it's also the parents and the teachers who need a little bit of help understanding it. And even though my work is directed at children, that's who I've made it for, it's also great for teachers and parents who aren't quite sure about these areas to watch them with a child and learn at the same time. So that's why I kind of think they're helpful. And yeah, I feel like what I try and do with my work is not make the LGBT plus subject like the focus. Like in Prince Henry, so in this book, in this story, the story is about class discrimination. So Prince Henry wants to marry his friend Thomas, but Prince Henry's dad says, no, you can't do that because Thomas is poor. And the fact that he's gay isn't an issue. And that's what I do with a lot of my stories as well, because I think it's important not to other LGBT plus people, because we're just as normal as anyone else. So it's about utilizing people.
That's really nice. And unfortunately, this session is wrapping up because now Ramses will be asking the last question of the day.
I saved the best one for last. What's the favorite story you've written?
Oh, you can't ask me that. Okay, don't let the other ones hear, but it probably is this one, Prince Henry. This is by far my most popular, and it was my first one. And what I think is quite funny is I just kind of like wrote it and drew it. And a lot of people say to me, oh my gosh, this book's so clever. You're so clever. And I'm like, yeah, like I didn't mean to be clever. I just wrote like what was in my head, what I was thinking about. Because a gay relationship is so normal to me that I don't know. I can understand why people thought I might have been clever when I was writing this, but I wasn't. So yeah, this one's my favorite one. But obviously, I've got lots of other books. This is my latest book. Kenny lives with Erica and Martina. This is a very colourful story, and I'm trying to get a copy of this book into every single primary school in the UK, because I think it's really important that every single primary school has at least one LGBT plus inclusive resource as part of their relationship education. And you can check out that campaign at lgbteducation.co.uk. And you can check all the books out at popandolly.com.
Thank you so much to Olly for speaking with us and sharing all of the stories and plugging his books. Do recommend checking them out. I'm sure they're great. I kind of want to check them out now as well. Don't be too sad about this whole session wrapping up, because Olly did prepare a coloring activity and some worksheets that you can do after this, and those will be available on Just Like Us social media, so keep a lookout. Thank you, all of you guys, for joining the session, and do remember to follow the rest of School Diversity Week on Facebook and just the general Just Like Us media. You can also find Olly and Pop and Olly's website at popandolly.com. And there you'll be able to learn more about LGBT+, find more of his videos, for example, the one about drag queens, and find his books there as well. And if you want to learn more about masterclasses that are going to be running this week, you can find out more about them on justlikeus.org/masterclasses. And maybe you do remember watching the short video at the beginning of the session. So if you have more questions about staying safe throughout this week, you can also go to justlikeus.org/betteronline to read more about the safety issues that you might encounter and how to deal with them. And once again, thank you so much for attending, and thank you so much for Olly Pike for giving us his time and talking to us. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.